Good morning and welcome to Behind the Scenes at the Hanover Theatre. This is Lisa Condit, and today, as one of our special guests, I'm speaking with Stacey Lee O'Dell. Stacey Lee has been with us since before we opened, and I bring this up because, of course, we're in the middle of our 5th-year anniversary celebration season right now. Of course, we're all abuzz with Diana Krall, but I was looking at photos for the program, and I came across staff photos from opening night. And Stacey Lee, welcome to the program. You were there.
Yes, Lisa. Good morning. Thank you for having me. It's been a great 5 years here at the theater. Exciting things.
Yeah. Now, Stacey started out in the box office up in Frank Carroll's building. Thanks again to Frank Carroll for supporting us with office space before we had some in the theater, before, in fact, the theater was done. When the box office was on what floor of Frank Carroll's building?
We were on the 3rd floor.
The 3rd floor of the building.
3rd floor.
And then where were the administrative offices?
At that time, our administrative offices were together with us on the 3rd floor.
On the 3rd floor. Just to set the scene, we're talking about little cubbies that everybody was sitting in around a big, huge room on the 3rd floor. That's where we all were. But we were segregated in different parts of the room. So the box office. And who was in the box office when you started?
At that time, it was myself, Amal, who's also in our box office now, Julie, Brendan Donnellan, Brian Burke, and Jonathan Slater.
Right. So what was that like, selling tickets for a theater that wasn't open yet?
You know, it was really exciting. It was a great thing to be a part of at that time, especially before opening and being able to see everything come together, and especially with the grand opening performance of Bernadette Peters and watching that all come together. So it was an exciting time for me, and I was really looking forward, and I love the theater, so it was just great to be a part of.
And then you moved into the administrative offices.
I did.
Tell everybody about that, because this is really where it happens behind the scenes. Stacey has been Troy, our executive director's executive assistant, as well as our office manager.
You know, behind the scenes at the Hanover Theatre is an exciting, interesting, challenging, and also fun environment. So much goes into each performance, and it's great to watch all of that come together. I mean, from the first phone call that we have to when they first arrive, between contracts and box office and...
Well, you know, it's funny because a lot of people think, oh, great, so why don't you get, I don't know, Les Mis, we'll say, which, by the way, is coming up very soon, so we did get Les Mis. Why don't you get Les Mis? And they don't realize what goes into that, but you're the one that's answering a lot of those phone calls about schedules. So you see not just the challenge of the puzzle of putting it all together and what shows are touring, but you also see what happens when the contract is signed.
Yeah, and that's all so exciting, especially I remember preparing for last season's Broadway launch party. And
oh, those were good times.
Those
Stacey,
were good
thanks for
times.
your help. Yes.
Thank you. And seeing Les Mis as one of the next year's shows, and that was a big question that everyone always asks is, when are you going to get Les Mis? When are you going to get Les Mis? And it all comes down to what's on the road and what's touring and what we have access to, and to finally have access to such a big show for a full week was amazing, to be able to roll that out to the public and say, hey, look at us now.
Right. And
we
so
have Les Mis.
That's right. And so it's funny because a lot goes into preparing for that tour to come to our theater.
Right. And production, you know, has a lot to do with that. John Rosbrook and our local stagehand crew, thank you to all their hard work, and they help Troy, you know, see what it's going to look like on our stage and what the fit's going to be like.
Well, and hotel accommodations, that is a big deal, and we have a whole variety of different performers and tours that come through our building, and they all have different and unique needs, don't they, Stacey?
They sure do. The most unique being, of course, Jack Hanna and his furry friends. That was interesting. You know, the hotel requests that you get that come along, and Jack Hanna travels with himself and exotic animals, one being a cheetah. So
now
that's always interesting. It's not just finding a pillow for Jack Hanna, but also for his friend the cheetah. So
I know, right? And so that created quite the conversation.
It did.
Because I wanted to touch the cheetah. I'll admit it. Everybody wants to touch the cheetah, but really none of us are allowed to touch the cheetah. And we have to be very professional about it, don't we?
We do. We do.
So all joking aside, because, we're just having a conversation here. When these people are making requests, you in the past have just handled it with some help from our restaurant and our hotel partners.
Yes, we've have some great restaurant partners and hotel partners that have gone above and beyond to support us. And thank you to all of them for everything that they have done for these last minute requests that we do get through. And it's been great working with them.
Yeah. Now, part of the reason why Stacey is saying it's been great working with them is because Stacey has exciting news in that she's getting married. Congratulations to you and your fiance.
Thank you.
And they're moving to the South Shore.
We are.
So
next week.
I know. So that's a little bit of a commute. So unfortunately, she's leaving us. And we all wish her well in everything that she does and lots of success. And we all love her. And we're also, excited to introduce everybody to Bethany Struthers, who will be Troy's new executive assistant. So any advice to anybody who's looking to break into theater administration? Because you've been doing it now. You've got some good tips.
Yeah, it's an exciting world, and a big thank you to all of the staff, all of our volunteers, and the theater's board for a great 5 years together as a team. It's been wonderful working with everyone, and there's no business like show business. And, it's a great, great environment, and just stay positive, keep it going, and together as a team, you make it work and conquer it all.
That's right. So what are some of your favorite things that you remember about these last 5 years?
One of my favorite memories is the very first Christmas Carol. Troy Siebels, our executive director, is the director for the Christmas Carol.
And it's amazing.
And
he does
amazing.
an amazing job, yes.
And that first year, watching that set come together, watching the cast come together, and the team come together, just everything come together was just amazing, and being part of that. And the first performance I went to, I sat up in the balcony. I snuck in. I was doing work downstairs, and I ran up because I wanted to catch specifically Marley, the ghost of Jacob Marley, flying in to one of the scenes with Scrooge. And as I was walking in, this family, and we had donated tickets that evening for underprivileged families to come enjoy the show. And there was a family with children, and this one child just, "Oh my gosh, Mom, look at that," to Ghost of Jacob Marley flying in. And the look on his face was priceless. And it's those little moments when you go, yep, that's it. It's just a great place to be.
And that's our mission, is to foster that love and appreciation of the performing arts and audiences of today and tomorrow. And that you hit home with that.
Yeah.
I'm looking at Stacey. I'm like, oh, I can picture it now. And it is touching how experiencing theater together and just seeing what's possible. And from our perspective, the teamwork that it takes to move mountains that are moved every moment of every day that nobody else even realize are mountains that need to be moved. And watching Troy pull together the cast, watching everybody in the theater come together, it is a great experience.
It sure is.
And we are going to miss you.
I will miss everybody, but I will be back to attend the theater as a patron, so looking forward to that.
And we're looking forward to having you. Everybody stay tuned for more behind the scenes. This is Lisa Condit on 8:30 a.m. WCRN.